folks? Welcome to the SmackDrop Podcast, your one-stop shop for all your WWE and AEW live show recaps, reviews, pay-per-view predictions. It's Kyle here, like normal. Joining us today, Mr. Rob Rude, Pokemon Rob. This joke's getting old, Rob. What's going on, man?
Ooh, another day, man.
Another day. Kicking it old school. The OGs, the original two of the show. It's only us today covering Raw. Just so happens that everybody either had prior obligations or simply fell asleep.
I did too, but here I am.
Yeah. Only for a second.
When I start sounding clueless, y'all know that's the time I was sleeping.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Listen now, folks. We are a pro wrestling podcast. Just a bunch of guys that love to talk wrestling. If you want to chat with us, we would love that too. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter. Myself at the Kai Tai Show. Mr. Rob over here at 2 words can't see me. That is C, the letter C. And of course, our shows page, which is swelling with popularity thanks to, I believe, Mr. Sebastian. At SmackDrop Pod. You can always find us on most of the podcast platforms such as Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and Google Play Music. We, of course, are on YouTube. Don't forget to hop over there to hit like and subscribe. Help us get to that first 100 subscribers mark. Today, we'll be talking about Mr. Monday Night Raw, a show following one of the busiest wrestling weeks I've personally ever experienced. So it's got a lot to follow. We'll find out if it stood up to the task. But first, Rob, how was your weekend, man?
Can't complain. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I always feel weird asking about your weekend on Monday because I feel like if you were to ask it back, my weekend's technically today and tomorrow. I work my butt off. Yeah, I work my butt off through the weekend. Do you work on the weekends?
Well, I have Saturdays off.
You have Saturdays off?
Yes. I do work a lot, so the days kind of bleed together.
Yeah, no, believe me, I know all about that. Oh, my gosh. These podcasts bleed together, too. Could you believe that we already hit 6 months since we've started recording?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's been a half a year, man. Gone from us, too.
Wow.
I think we're somewhere between 60 and 70 episodes now. Jesus. And it's only growing faster because we went from pumping out like 1 to 2 episodes a top week, and now we're pumping out like 3, 4. This last week, we literally had a show all 7 days of the week. You know that?
Yeah, crazy, man.
I know, man. It's nuts. But hey, listen now. I know you're a busy man. We'll get into this. Raw tonight opened from Bakersfield, California. Before even the music hits, we get a recap of the Rusev versus Rollins match from last Monday, where we got introduced to the very polarizing angle of Lana, apparently now romantic with Mr. Bobby Lashley.
It's so cringe.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so cringe. Vince, I don't want to see this shit, man. I don't want to see it. I really don't.
Yeah, it's out there, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's
now,
out there.
I do want to ask real fast. It's from Bakersfield. Where was Hell in the Cell last night?
The Staples Center. No, they were in L.A. The Staples Center in L.A. Yeah.
Because the kid in the front row of like where the corner of the barricade starts and the ramp starts, was the same kid from last night.
Oh.
And I noticed that because he was wearing a pink Bret Hart jacket, and last night he got a selfie with Natalya.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's why I noticed it was him again. Same guy. That's why I thought they were in the same arena.
No, he probably
Unless it just happened to be 2 different kids that looked alike, both wearing a pink jacket. No, it was him.
Yeah, I would imagine the big fans.
Both shows. That's crazy.
Yeah, because WWE, when they touch down in your state, they'll usually hit up a couple locations, and he probably was just traveling along with the show. We get into this was actually pretty interesting. They cut to the show's intro, the Raw's new music and everything. Halfway into it, it cuts out of the standard intro, almost seemingly out of nowhere, to in ring where Rusev is actually getting jumped by Randy Orton and Baron Corbin. While Rusev is defending himself, we get the I don't know. This might be a little bit out there, but the PG version of the live sex show that took place back with Edge and Lita, We get not Baron Corbin. Oh my God, Jesus, no, not Corbin. Bobby Lashley.
I wouldn't even be about that, just for the record.
Bobby Lashley. You got a close up of Lashley. All you can really distinguish is it's him, and he's wearing this white robe. He's cutting a promo on Rusev. Says, "Hey man, I'm in your robe. If that means I'm in your robe, that means I'm in your house, which means I'm in your room, which means I'm in your bed." And then Lana appears. And this is just rough to get through for me, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It really is.
It's rough. Oh my gosh. I did like the line though. Okay, so a couple of things I'll take from this. For one, Lana reveals to Rusev that she got everything. Like, she didn't come out and say they got divorced, but they no longer have they no longer have a joint banking account. The house is hers. Like, everything is somehow hers, but we did not actually say there was like a divorce or anything like that. It's just Lana has seized control of the possessions. Lashley hits Rusev with the line that you shouldn't have been sending your money to your family in Bulgaria. You should have been spending it on Lana. So apparently that's where this is all stemming from. Rusev being a family man and not spoiling his wife, apparently. After the promo, we see Rusev in the ring. We cut in frame is Randy Orton and Baron Corbin snickering like a bunch of middle schoolers, and then Rusev proceeds to murder them. I am talking just unbridled rage. Took these fellas completely out. And I'll let you get into what you feel, Rob, because I know you are very opinionated of this before we move on.
I see this, man.
I have the hot take that this. Okay, so before it sounds really terrible, I feel like this was necessary.
It woke Rusev up. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the man in the man's bed.
So exactly, I get that. I get it. So maybe there's a better way to do this, but for what it's
have them at a restaurant and have a waiter set a plate down for the two. There you go. You're having dinner with my wife. I want to kill you. There you go. It's the same effect.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Little less on the nose. Little less like we're blatantly doing it. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So no, I totally agree. And what so to what I think you're agreeing with me on and what I'm alluding to is Rusev was at his best when he was like a hate-filled monster. When he was just a ball of rage. You just did not want to be on this guy's path. He would tear through everyone. And this is one way to accomplish that motivation. Now, one might say, well, why not have an angle where someone strikes Lana or Lana is struck down? I don't think it would work the same to make Rusev like a valiant white knight that's fueled with anger. I feel like, I mentioned it in the chat earlier, but I feel like it's not that Rusev needs to avenge Lana. Rusev needs to avenge himself to really get that across. So, yeah, so I believe the story is necessary, but the execution, like you said, is cringy, and
you don't need to go that far.
It's a little much. Really, yeah, it is a little much. Going straight adultery, you know, arguably the third time that they've done this story with Lana. Yeah, it's a bit much, but hey, look, let's err on the side of positivity here, and hopefully this results in a Rusev that can surge towards the Universal Championship. Maybe this makes him into a main player again. We can only hope. Rob, up next was your girl, Lacey Evans. God. Yeah, man. Fresh off her, I didn't realize this because I missed the pre-show, but fresh off her loss to Natalya at Hell in the Cell.
Which was a solid loss. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah.
Even this match, man. Tonight wasn't that good.
Dude,
even this match. Like, if I had to pick one person that I could watch from WWE, one person, I would sit and ponder it. It could be Baron Corbin. It could be Brock Lesnar. It would be Lacey Evans. I do enjoy Lacey Evans. It's not because I want to watch the world burn. I love her character. I love what she does. I love how she carries herself. Even this match, it was... you said it in the chat. Don't be salty that Lacey Evans lost. Like, I know you were joking.
Yeah.
That was part of it. Like, I'm all about Lacey Evans. I really am. But the fact that she kept doing, she did a neck breaker, and then she's like, okay, start counting, and it gave us a 9 count. And then she did a
Yeah.
DDT. Okay, start counting, and it gave us a 9 count. Now look, everybody and their mother knows this is a 9 count. It's not. She's not done. And then finally, I realized it's gonna be one move that Natty does, and Lacey's gonna lose.
Oh, so you
One
felt
move.
like you
We
saw the
sat
win
through-
coming a mile away, huh?
I did. Like, stuff's predictable, but I don't look at it that way. This one, I'm like, this is dumb, because we're gonna sit through 39 counts, and then one move, and Lacey's gonna lose.
Yeah.
It's not even because Lacey lost. It's because, come on, it was so predictable.
There were two moments. Now, there were two moments that I legitimately thought Lacey was about to win it. The first one was Lacey sat Natalya down in a computer chair and then kind of locked her in place with a kendo stick and kicked her over. Now, this I thought was clever because it more or less made Natalya stuck than down and out. And that would have been like, okay, that would be a clever way to give Lacey a win, you know. That was not to be. And then I think the other one was the fight spilled to the top of the ramp, and then Lacey hit Natty with a mean-looking suplex on the commentary table. The table didn't collapse, which in this case made it look more brutal.
Right.
But ultimately, yeah, Natty did get up from that. And Natty ended up winning, like you said, because Natty got it handed to her. Pretty much the second and third section of the match. But Natty ended up winning with a powerbomb. She powerbombed Lacey off the stage. Where do you see Lacey take such a bump, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely earning your stripes there. But powerbombed her off the stage through a table for the victory. It's weird.
The ending was good, and like I said, it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Lacey Evans lost. It was
You
so
felt like
predictable
you
to me.
felt like it was a foregone conclusion halfway through the match.
Yes, and it really was.
Yeah.
And I mean, whoop her ass a little more, maybe. I guess you dropped a neck breaker, and then you're like, oh, she's done. No,
Yeah.
no, she's not.
You
No,
hit a
she's not.
transitional
She's
move,
wrestling.
and then
Everybody-
you think you're gonna take him out for a 10 count.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, drop a DDT onto the stairs. Oh man, maybe. We know it's not gonna happen, but she just got her noggin funked into the stairs.
I had a feeling
It's
when I
not-
saw Lacey standing there next to that trash can, I was like, that trash can's probably going to be the most hardcore thing this match. You know?
I did not expect it to be filled with actual garbage.
No, same here. That caught me off guard too. And they said, commentary said that she'd been walking around backstage all day getting the nastiest trash she could find. Can you imagine? Like, excuse me, do you have any used diapers over here? I see you have a child. I have a match later.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. So I think we should set the precedent before we go too much further in the show, before it sounds like we're downing Raw. Raw had a uphill battle tonight. 2 reasons. You're coming off one of the most eventful weeks in pro wrestling history. The series debut of Raw, NXT's 2-hour show, live show on USA, AEW's debut, SmackDown's debut on Fox, and the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And then also, we have the draft on Friday. So it's like Raw couldn't even try to build captivating stories for the most part, just because everybody's going to get mixed up here next week. So Raw really was kind of limited to very, very light storytelling and more exhibition style matches that weren't really going to have any, because I don't see Natalya and Lacey going forward. I think this is Natalya getting her comeuppance, and then that's it. I think Natalya and Lacey go on to probably different brands, or even if they stay on the same brand, this is probably it. But I imagine they're going to get split up. Yeah.
You are 100% right, but at the same time, you don't have to make it boring. That's my problem. You know me. I pay attention to the stories, but you can give me no story. I'm still a happy camper. You can give me no reason for something to happen, and I'm still a happy camper. But you made it all boring. You made me think my favorite wrestler was boring tonight.
Yeah. I'll say, with that being said, I think there was really only one captivating match. And that, I'm going to say, it was the tag match we got later. Other than that tag match, I didn't really see. Maybe my notes will jog my memory, but I didn't see too much that made me jump out my seat. I heard some trash talk that made me jump later in the show. But other than the tag match that we had, yeah, there really wasn't even a match that elicited too big a reaction. Following Lacey and Natty, we had the Aleister Black is still in his dark room, still looking for a fight. Street Profits are still recapping the show and hyping the draft, talking about some scouting reports. Apollo Crews apparently is the blue chip. However, that is the blue chip that I would say never wins. Buddy Murphy is the best kept secret until he got a match and then became a secret again. And then Drake Maverick, they couldn't even put over him. They called him the Steve Carell, the 40-year-old virgin of WWE, because he can't consummate his marriage. Apparently, I don't know, man. I'm not hating on it. They had material they had to work with here. And then they just rolled a recap of the Tyson Fury segment from Friday Night SmackDown last week. Rob, what do you think with the Street Profits? Are they gonna?
I think they're gonna get drafted
after the draft. You think they're gonna go into like having matches, right?
Yes. I think they're gonna get drafted to Raw, and they're going to start having matches and become maybe SmackDown. But I see Raw with Street Profits. Yeah. I think they're definitely going to be a thing. I don't think they're going to keep them on promos forever. Anybody who pays attention knows that they're worth drafting.
Because if you think about it, as good as they are, like just moving the show along, imagine the promos they can cut on other tag teams.
Right.
You know, imagine if they can hype a show they have nothing to do with. I can't wait to see them hype their matches they're actually involved with. So I'm. As much as I enjoy him in this role, I'm ready for the next stage of the Street Profits as far as the main roster goes. I would be severely disappointed if they just disappear back to NXT. Because then you'd be like, what's the point? Why did they get all this exposure that they didn't get drafted?
Right.
Oh, man. Charlie Caruso backstage with Fury. Tyson Fury, multi-time heavyweight boxing champ. I think multi-time. Forgive me, I'm not the biggest boxing.
I think it's 2. I think they said 2. I don't know.
And they said he's approaching 10 years undefeated in boxing. Essentially, Caruso's like,
crazy.
Why are you here? What are you looking for? Fury says he just wants Strowman to apologize, otherwise Strowman may get these hands. It's funny, Fury taking on Strowman's little catchphrase there. Then next up is my pick match of the night. Viking Raiders taking on Ziggles and Robert Roode. A great match if you were able to tune out the King. The King had a couple lines in this match that was just is a bit much. I think we have it saved here. We got the best of the King. Oh my God, let me see.
Last time I've seen legs that big, it was on a brontosaurus.
He said, no, that was my favorite. Now, that one I thought was genuinely good. He was referencing, I think Ivar is the larger of the two, and he's referencing his legs. Like, I haven't seen legs that big since a brontosaurus. And I think Dio was like, you saw a brontosaurus? And King's like, yeah, I've been around a while.
I was like,
for a while. Yeah, I thought that was good. Because it was exactly what I was thinking. I was like, King, you kind of just outed yourself for being, like, super old. And then, yeah. It was good. No, he was like, if you never thought there was life after death, have a match with Dolph Ziggler. And he had a couple lines, man, that it was just like, what is the point, King? Like, what are you doing out here, man? Like, I don't know. I think I've lost the lines. But either way, King was kind of rough, man. But mainly just for this show, like this match. Honestly, King doesn't really stand out to me too much more outside of this match. So I guess if you're going to be cringy, if you're being cringy only during one match, then I guess that's okay. Oh damn, I lost my place in my notes. Here we go. Yes, there we go. The Raiders did pick up the win after pinning Dolph Ziggler with the Viking Experience. We cut back to Black in the back. He says he's heading down to the ring for an open challenge. We cut to commercial. When we come back from commercial, the Singh brothers from 205 Live are in the ring. And initially, I thought these guys were out here to stake their claim for the draft. They were giving one of the best promos they've ever given, in my opinion, that I've seen. But they admitted they said they were out there to pick a fight with Black. And I was like, oh, my God, okay. This isn't going to be a feud that we're about to see. It's literally going to be a murder. And, yeah, Black came out. He promptly destroyed these boys without issue. And then I guess the whole thing to pull from this is, as of Raw, looking what happened before and after, Black has made his stake to be pretty much like one of the number one drafts in the draft. He should be one of the top picks now.
He'll just hang out in the back and knock on door, or ask people to knock on his door.
I hope not, man. I'm so done with that. I'm so done.
Go ahead and take him at number one. He sits down very well. While, the Fiend does things like he did last night instead of knocks on his door. Just saying.
I can picture him like what are those things called whenever it's a bunch of careers like representatives of companies set up booths and like for students to go try to like learn like what career path they want to take. Job fair. I could picture like a job fair with Black has his own booth set up. Why don't you pick a fight with me? He's trying to convince everybody to fight. I'd love to see that, man. That should be his gimmick over whatever brand drafts him. He's just got a booth and he's asking people to sign up for fights. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Good time.
Job fair. Job fair Black.
Black's job fair.
Yes, man. Okay. Going back after that, Strowman's chatting it up. Who the hell was Strowman chatting it up with backstage? Like this small guy. Did you catch this?
I don't think so.
They just cut to some music. There was no audio to Strowman. It was just as they were cutting to commercial, because they were advertising. Later up, we're gonna have the Strowman Tyson Fury confrontation, but they show Strowman, and he's chatted up with this small, looks like a stagehand, but their conversation looks like it's going really well. Because they're both really excited talking to each other, like full of smiles, like no drama. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? Like, it was the most uncharacteristic thing I've seen out of like a Strowman little B-roll. But yeah, never mind. I'm sure someone else. Leave it in the comments if you saw it and tell me who you think that was, man. Anyways, we do come back from commercial, and we got Charlie Caruso, who worked overtime on this show. I'm telling you, she had almost every single interview segment. She asks, what happened between you and Tyson, and Braun essentially just says, I was playing with him, but then he looked serious, so now he might get these hands. Like if he, no, that wasn't even that point. He was like, he can ask for an apology, but he better do it nicely, otherwise he might get these hands. So I guess Braun's open to maybe apologizing. I don't know. Charlie then probably had to run as fast as she could to secure the next interview because she's going interview to interview here. She got Rey Mysterio. She said, how's Dominic doing? Dominic apparently is in the hospital. I guess that's to be expected if you encounter Brock Lesnar.
Local medical facility.
Excuse me. You're right, Rob. My apologies. But he says he's proud of him because he took the beating like a man. I don't know how else you take a beating from Brock Lesnar. I imagine you just get hit with one F5 and you go limp, and then he just mauls you, because that's kind of what happens. But I mean, apparently that's hey man, Ray's proud, dude. But while Ray was in the hospital, he was really down. He felt bad, and then in walked the Beacon, apparently Dominic's godfather. I did not realize Ray was tied with Cain Velasquez. I mean, I guess it makes sense since Eddie has passed. Eddie's can't be the godfather if he's not around, but apparently Ray is really tight with former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez. And that's how we got the Cain and Brock stuff going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got our first
Keep it kayfabe.
Yeah, right. We got our first of 2 foreign language promos. AOP cutting another backstage promo. These guys are beastly. Another team, I can't wait for the draft. I'm hoping the draft pulls them out of promo-only segments and starts giving them stuff to do. Then we got the OC taking on the Lucha Funhouse. All right, I'll say it for you, Rob. Hey, now listen. Now, Lucha House Party killed it in the beginning of this, man. Actually, throughout the whole match. Grand Metalik hit a springboard off of Lindsay's shoulders into like an assisted splash onto Carl Anderson. Grand Metalik showed off why he was the master of the ropes. And then all 3 of them hit moonsaults at the same time off the same turnbuckle going to the outside on all members of the OC. Like, Lucha House Party looked hot, man. It kind of looked like they had some freedom, dude. And that was pretty cool. Did you get a chance to actually watch this, Rob? I know you said you were tired.
I wasn't paying attention. I don't like the OC. And if I'm already bored on your show, I'm sorry. I was playing Super Mario Odyssey. I will not lie.
Man,
I was playing
now.
Super Mario.
Come
I'm sorry,
on.
man. I don't like the OC. And if I'm already bored on your show, you're not getting me. Especially with Lucha House Party, man. Come on.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Gosh, Rob.
If it makes me a bad guy, I'm a bad guy.
I guess so. I think it does. I think it does.
Okay.
Anyways, AJ Styles made Kalisto look deadly. AJ can sell like a pro, man. Kalisto came out. He's got one of the sickest, like, it's like a Hurricanrana DDT. And normally he hits it on a guy who's kneeling. AJ Styles took it from standing. Just threw his head into the mat with a lot of force. Looked nasty. But ultimately, I mean, it's AJ Styles, folks. He did come back. He hit Kalisto with a phenomenal forearm. They got a post-match beatdown, including a Styles clash onto Lince Dorado. That was pretty much it. OC standing tall, taking on another trios team, setting their place before the draft. Rob, do you think the United States Championship, do you think that's going to Raw, or do you think it's staying on Raw, or do you think it might go to SmackDown?
I hadn't even really thought about that. I'm gonna go SmackDown just for prediction purposes.
Let's go
SmackDown.
Let's go SmackDown. Okay. We did get a quick segment. King put over Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Hell in the Cell match, rightfully so, because that match was arguably the best match of the whole pay-per-view. In my books it is. Their opening match was definitely the best. I guess Sasha Banks and both The Fiend were injured, which explains their absence from Raw. I would imagine The Fiend is injured, seeing as he had his skull caved in. But that's another story.
Then they stopped the match because he was unable to compete, and then all of a sudden he was right back up.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened.
So word has it is that was all Vince. Surprise. Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, all Vince.
That's such good shit.
I'm telling you. You'd think it was like his first time watching like a horror movie, and he was like, "I want to do that." He's like, we can't have him stab him. He can't stab him, so we'll just let the curb stomps be like the knife. It's like, but you can't stab him just once, so we need him to curb stomp him like 13 times. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell was going on there. I like Bray Wyatt's reaction, dude. Bray Wyatt's reaction on Twitter was the best. It was just like a gif of a guy like, whoopsie. Just
whoops.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, he'll bounce back.
He will.
Just keep him off TV for like a week or two. Absence grows the heart, or makes the heart grow fonder, you know?
Yeah. What's funny is I almost put on Twitter $5 that Seth Rollins gets booed tonight.
Yeah.
I would have lost because he wasn't there to get booed.
Oh, yeah. He would have, dude. They would have booed him out the building.
That's why he
It's
wasn't
not even
there.
his
They're
fault,
not
man.
stupid.
It's
They're not
Vince.
it's really not his fault.
Vince needs to stop booking this stuff, man. I'm sorry, Vince. I mean, you're a genius. Like, hands down, you are a genius. But you are
Without you, wrestling would not be what it is.
That is true. No one can take that away. But with that being said, you're in your
Time
mid to
takes a
late
toll.
70s. You are out of your prime. Gotta let the next generation take over, man. You just got to.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to just hand it over, bud. Anyways, we get our segment of Miz TV. Miz comes out looking like $1 million, of course. His guests are both Becky Lynch, the two women's champions. You got Becky Lynch and the newly 10-time women's champ, Charlotte. Segment was pretty good. It was more of an introduction to the women's tag team match we were getting, but Miz goes through Lynch's accolades. Apparently she's on a box of cereal now, so you know you made it if you're on cereal. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, you've made it.
I was expecting him to say Wheaties.
Same here.
I was like,
same
oh.
here. I think, what do you say? It was like Golden Grams or Golden Crisp?
Golden Crisp.
Golden Crisp.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't get enough of those Golden Crisp.
Oh my gosh. I lost my place, man. I'm sorry. You made me laugh, and I lose my notes. I have to stare at my notes like the whole time. I'm sorry, man. It just happens.
Well, Becky and Charlotte started bickering.
Yeah, exactly. There was a reveal, so there was a purpose for this, and Miz brought up the fact that the champs can technically end up on the same brand or on opposite brands, so the champions are not immune to the draft. You can be a Raw champ and end up on SmackDown, and you can be a SmackDown champ and end up on Raw. What that would mean for the titles, I do not know. They didn't specify, but neither of them are immune. But you're right. They just start bickering over who's the more true champ, and then this brought out Asuka and Kairi Sane, who cut a promo completely in Japanese with no subtitles.
This made my night. This was so excellent. I was like, you guys are getting so got right now.
I'm telling you.
And I don't even know how got you're getting.
The censors don't even know what to censor. I did see something on funny. People thought it was just Asuka and Kairi Sane promoting Asuka's new YouTube channel. Because apparently Asuka's got a YouTube channel and it's doing really good.
Oh, okay.
That'd be funny. Make it look like you're trash talking to them and you're just saying like and subscribe.
Everybody in Japan's like, that's stupid American.
Yeah. I need to find someone who speaks Japanese. Well, I'm sure come tomorrow it'll be translated.
Probably.
Yeah. Becky and Charlotte, this does open up the match. Becky and Charlotte are on top. Apparently, Asuka and Kairi Sane are heels. I was not aware of this, but I could definitely tell in the match they were playing it up like they were heels, including their wardrobe. They were wearing black and everything. This is kind of where I wish I had Benji with us, because Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Shirai were really, really big before WWE, and apparently they were really great heels. And Kairi Sane seems like the hardest one to picture as a heel, but apparently she was, man. We'd have to look it up sometime.
Yeah, judging by the promo tonight, I could definitely see it.
Yeah.
She was talking some smack.
She was going off, man.
At least she sounded like it. She might have been saying like and subscribe, but
Yeah.
it sounded like she was talking some smack.
Oh,
And hitting them punchlines.
man. Yeah, the match was good. To make sure it doesn't just, you can't have your champs get beat, but you don't want your new tag champs to look weak. Asuka hit the green mist on Becky Lynch, allowing Kairi Sane to get the roll up. The Kabuki Warriors then proceeded to beat down Charlotte until Bliss and Cross came out, got some payback for the previous night. I'm not gonna lie, now that Bliss and Cross have lost their tag titles, I like them more. I feel like they really have grown as a good tag team. And you can go back months back, and I was like, oh, any day now, Bliss is gonna turn on her, and now I'm like, damn, these guys.
Like, no, we got Rocket Sock.
Yeah, man, these two are really good together now. Yeah,
Yes,
I've
sir.
totally ate my words, man. Charlie Caruso giving her 17th interview of the night. Interviews Apollo Crews. He's got a match coming up against Ricochet. Pretty much just going to be a showcase match is how they're building it. This is just to kind of get you on people's radar before the draft happens. Before we get to that match, Viking Raiders are in a red room. They officially challenge Ziggler and Rude for their titles next week on Raw. So I don't know what that means for the draft on Friday. If you can just book a match on Raw, so I don't know if that means it's kind of like a spoiler that none of them are being drafted. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But apparently they're going to have a Raw Tag Team Championship match on Raw.
We're going to find out. Vince's going to reinstate the wild card rule for one night.
Wild card rule like first week. Not even through the draft yet. Just already got wild cards.
No, we can't have everybody. Just tag teams that are fighting for the tag titles. That's it. Nobody else.
Yeah. We get a pre-match interview with Ricochet. He's super happy to face his best bud, Apollo Crews. They do have a match. Ricochet won a forgettable match. They both showcase that they're high flyers and can do flips, but they never even got out the gate. They just both hit a couple moonsaults, a couple flips, and then Ricochet goes over with that. I keep forgetting what his finisher is. It's that modified. Oh God, why am I blanking right now?
Isn't it that back thing? Or no,
it's like the modified code breaker that Chris Jericho hits, but instead of hitting it with both knees, he hits it on one. I just can't remember what.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that thing.
That thing, yeah.
The thing that he does.
We're professional, folks.
While he's going, doot, 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 doot.
Oh my God!
And only he does that and does the thing.
Yeah, and then the flipsy do, and then the flipsy do.
Yeah, the flippy doos and the doodads.
He points into the sky. Oh my God!
Speaking of Ricochet doing a 640, I meant to say earlier. Man, I'm glad I remembered when Lacey Evans and Natalya were wrestling. And Lacey Evans threw Natalya into the LCD, and she slid down. It looks like a quarter pipe. I was like, how long before they got Tony Hawk dropping in on that thing?
How
long before Tony Hawk is on Raw?
I'm telling you, he needs to guest on Raw, man, and just hit like a 540 or something on that junk. Gap the walkway. Oh, it'd be so good.
Right.
I'm a skateboarding fan, dude. I'd love to see that junk. I would
Man.
mark the hell out.
I used to be a skater. Oh, I miss them days.
Oh boy, my ankles
Good
don't.
times.
Blew out my ankle every 3 or 4 weeks. Oh gosh.
Oh.
We got a recap of the main event of Hell in the Cell, the crazy overbooked murder red light mess that it was. Won't get too much into the match. I'm sure our boys Vince and crew already covered it to its extent, but I will say the editing made it look 100 times better than it really was. Like WWE's editing team, they can take a pile of crap and shine it up real nice, man. I'm telling you, because they did. They made the match look
Turn it sideways and stick it up your eyeballs.
Oh my gosh, they did. They made the match look so much better. They did. After that, though, we did get the main angle of the evening. King's in the ring, not King of the Ring, but Jerry the King Lawler standing in the ring, which is surrounded by security. He introduces Tyson Fury. King asks what happened between...
I'm going to jump right to it.
Go ahead.
Did you know that Devon Dudley worked security for WWE?
Well, I know
that?
Well, he works backstage, not security. He's a
Is
producer.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Because he was out there being security.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he was out there part of the locker room, not security. So security got laid out first. So what happens was...
he had a black shirt on looking like...
Right, yeah, I think that's just what he wears. So the initial security that was out there, Devon was not part of. That's just security. The security got laid out.
I seen him, and it took me a minute. I'm like, why do I know that face?
Yeah, I caught him too.
What is going on here? And then it hit me. I'm like, I know who he is.
Apparently during the segment, who was it that said it?
Benji said that Cedric hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, Cedric hurt his shoulder. Damn, I'm going to have to go back and watch that. Which has got to suck to injure yourself in a pointless segment. That's got to suck. Something where you're not even the focus of. Oh, God. I hope he's okay. But yeah, so
Off subject. A couple of years ago, we had I don't even remember who it was, but one of my beloved Detroit Lions got a touchdown and hurt his ankle twerking in the end zone and was out.
Jesus. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
You already played for the Lions, and then you're gonna do that.
For the UFC fans, there's this like up and coming light heavyweight. His name is Johnny Walker, believe it or not, and he's knocking guys out left and right. Well, the last fight he was in, he knocks this guy out, I think with like a flying knee. To celebrate, he went to do the worm, like Scotty 2 Hotty or Otis. But when he went down, he like dislocated his shoulder, just like that.
Oh my
Knocks
God.
the guy out, goes to celebrate, and dislocates his shoulder in the celebration instantly too. Yeah, that was really funny, man. Y'all gotta be careful. Y'all gotta be careful, man. Even when you think you're not at risk, stuff happens, man. Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole thing. So I'm pretty sure this is building to Tyson Fury, Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel. Unfortunately.
Yes.
I would like to
Yeah.
see something like this showcased at WrestleMania, but that's not what we're getting. This is definitely a
No.
Crown Jewel cash-in. The match, it wasn't a match. It's just your classic pull-apart. If you've seen one of these, you've seen all of it. These
Yeah.
Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury start to brawl. Security holds them back for a minute. They lay out security, go at each other. The locker room rolls out. This is where we saw Devon Dudley. And then the locker room will hold them in opposite corners for a while. One breaks free, jumps on the other guy. You never see anything of substance. It's just a cock tease for like 7 way too long minutes.
Yeah. At least this time it's freaking giant. And, like,
Yeah.
Them breaking away from 30 security guards is like believable.
Right. They did mix it up a little bit because when they finally looked like it was over, Braun's music hit. Braun's cutting a promo backstage, and mid-promo just gets infuriated and runs back out.
Runs right back out there.
Right
Do
over
it
to
again,
Tyson
guys.
Fury for them to get split up again, and then finally Raw goes off the air. Yeah, it is what it. I don't think it's a terrible Raw because when I say terrible, I think segments that go south, and the only segment that arguably went south was obviously the Lana and Bobby Lashley. Everything else was just kind of forgettable. So I would put this as not a horrible Raw, but maybe slightly below average, but hey, now.
I'll say it's horrible. I will straight up.
There
I
you go.
never ever say that.
Yeah.
But I'm
You're
easily
usually-
amused, man.
we're-
I'm very very easily
I think
amused.
you and I have
You had
become
me
grumpy
floored.
old men, dude. We have. Because we started the show being super optimistic. We like everything. We give everything a benefit. Now it's just like, they're talking about infidelity again. That's trash. I fucking hate this show.
They did that shit again. They did it last.
Oh my
Lashley,
god.
come
I'm Holy cow. Let's see what if we got any. I think we got only 2 questions for the evening. Maybe we got more by now. Let's see. Gotta look here. Okay. So first question comes from all right. First question comes from at Walk with Pickles, Mr. EJ Childers. He says he's got no problem with women cutting promos. I assume by women he means the Kabuki Warriors, not just women. It's just because he then goes on to say, "I've got no problem with them cutting it in Japanese. I'm just curious why there weren't subtitles." I would say there weren't subtitles because that would ruin the mystery. Or that would ruin the allure that it's live,
I agree. We talked about that like while we were talking about that segment and how awesome it was because them punchlines seemed so awesome. I don't know what the punchline was. I don't care what the punchline was. Did you hear that delivery?
I'm going grocery shopping after work.
I need good beans.
Oh my god, dude, no. Yes, but yes.
So great.
Yeah, you can't have subtitles if it's a live product because that means the girls would have gone to a producer, told them exactly what they were going to say, and then went out and said it. No, man. The girls came out. They cut their promo in Japanese. They didn't have it's. You know what would have made more sense instead of subtitles is an interpreter. Had someone just been there to interpret what they were saying, that would make sense all around. It would make sense for the live, it being live, and then also make sense that it's being translated for the audience. So I don't think the problem is with subtitles as it should have been. Maybe they could have had an interpreter there for it. And then the last question is from AWF champ, Mr. Average Wrestling Fan. Oh, I love that, man. Like I've never realized just how many, in a good way, generic wrestling names come. Like we got Wrestling Fan, Wrestling Chump. We got Average Wrestling Fan. Like, you guys, these are awesome names. I would have made fun of these names a year ago, but now I love them, and I'm kind of jealous. This one might be for you, Rob. I'll go ahead and let you do it. It says, with this whole Bobby, Lana, Rusev storyline, and even some of the action from last night, the thrown chair shot to the head, weapon use in the Seth and Fiend match, do you believe Vince is using some light Attitude Era tactics to draw the ratings up?
I did think that today, actually, when they did the opening segment, and I think he really is, because the Attitude Era brought so much. But I also thought, damn, I'm getting old, because 20 years ago I probably would have liked this and been all about it. But now that, speaking of getting old, I'm going to take this moment to plug that it is officially my 35th birthday.
Happy birthday, Rob, as of 11 minutes ago. Happy birthday.
Yes, he's using Attitude Era stuff here and there. He's sprinkling it in. Not like the Attitude Era, but yes, he's using it. He's sprinkling it in. And I did ask myself, oh my God, was it this cringe or am I old?
Oh, man. You're going to have to send me, although I know I have it in our chat. I'll have to double check. If I don't still have it, you'll have to send me your address again. I'll send you a birthday card. All right.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. No, Rob, you said it perfect.
So yeah, he's using Attitude Era again.
Yeah, I can't say any different.
Man.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you looked at the AEW, so not only did AEW outdraw NXT, if you look at the demographic that WWE want, that's that like 18 to 40-year-old demographic, they did more than double what NXT did. So Vince wants to get those fans back. And, I mean, I don't think it's cheap. I don't think it's reactive. I think it's just, hey, it's realizing there's a demand for this, and if you can get it with the PG rating still, we're probably gonna get it. But yeah, but that's I think that's pretty much our show, Rob. I forgot, dude. I'm so glad you said something. Happy birthday again.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, it looks like, hold on, there was a dark match. It's just showing right now. What's the dark match here? The Fiend came out after the show, and who did he take out here? It's someone bald. I can't tell. Who is that? Yeah, Raw went off the air. Boo, Seth is safe. Cesaro. Oh, no. Cesaro got. Oh, no. Breaking news. Cesaro got by the Fiend after they went off the air. Are the crowd booing?
I think that's kind of...
I don't really hear too many boos. Wow. Yeah, Cesaro got laid out after Raw went off the air. You heard it here first, folks.
So you're going to wait. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And then you're going to shoot yourself in the foot again by dancing around the fact that you shot yourself in the foot by putting sugar on it with your editing team. And then you're going to wait till Raw goes off the air and shoot yourself in the foot again by waiting till Raw goes off the air. That's what I'm getting from that. You should have just had him not come out.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
But man, you're going to wait till after the show goes off the air. Vince, you screwed up. Leave it be. Just leave it be.
Leave it be, man. All right, man. Well, anyways, that's our show tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to tune in Thursday when we have our double episodes of AEW's Dynamite and NXT's just NXT. I don't know why I'm thinking of another. Just NXT on USA, I guess. And then, of course, Saturdays every week with our new Friday Night SmackDown recap. We may have a bonus episode going up this week based around the draft, maybe some draft predictions. Vince is saying he wants to helm that project. If we do that, I think he said that'll go up Thursday or Friday. We'll probably have more information come during our NXT show. I don't know. We'll keep y'all informed. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us once again. This is Kyle. Y'all have a good one. Rob says peace too.
Yeah. Yeah.